the regression started at age 2.5, and it went more and more and more. He started to have seizures. He started to lose the coordination. We were really bit stressed as we had no help. And all the therapies that we have done so far didn't make a lot of difference on David. And I had no idea. I had no clue that this actually exists, this type of treatment. I said to my husband, we need to go and do this. We got in contact with Swiss Medica. We got an appointment straight away with the doctor. Anytime when we had the question, the doctors were available. And I don't think it's just coincidence. It has to be the therapy. I think it's just starting to work. And I know from other parents that this can happen overnight. You can see that he's communicating the eye contact. And also, like, I asked him what he wants to watch on TV this morning, and he pointed and said, Bobby, as he likes Minions. From the medical staff to reception to kitchen to restaurant to cleaners, everybody's amazing here.
Hello, Alina. First of all, I wanted to tell you that we are glad having you here. And thank you very much for letting us ask you a couple of questions.
Thank you.
Would you please tell everyone where you come from and what brought you to Swiss Medica Clinic?
So we travel from Ireland. Our child is severely autistic. I'm originally Romanian, but my husband is Irish, and we have heard a lot about stem cells therapy, and because also like all the therapies that we have done so far didn't make a lot of difference on David. Our situation with David is quite complex. David's autism doesn't have an environmental cause or a genetic cause. His cause is pathological due to a morphological issue at the brain. Because of the plasticity of the brain, I think we have a lot of chances for him to create a better future. And the stem cell therapies are giving us all the hopes. Therapies, the occupational therapy, the speech and language therapy, they help very, very little. David is not really responding very well to this. And we just hope that we're going to create a better future for him by doing the stem cells therapy.
How old is he now?
He is 6, and we are aware that this therapy will work quite well till age of 10, even more, even above. However, because of the plasticity of the brain, it will work better between age 4 and 10. So we said before his 7th birthday, which is in May, we just need to do it. First, have the first dose done. This is the 5th day in the program. I don't think it's just a coincidence. My child is nonverbal, or will be like he will be saying the words now and then, but you won't see them, you won't hear those words for months after. Yesterday morning, I told him, I love you. And he repeated after me, of course, not correctly, but he repeated like, I love you, which I know that's exactly what he meant. This morning he did again. And then where he had the mark from the needle on his arm, he actually showed me today, he pointed, said, Buba, Buba. And I don't think it's just coincidence. It has to be the therapy. I think it's just starting to work. And I know from other parents that this can happen overnight. It's just, we might be those lucky ones. And like even the communication is a lot better. Not so much words, but you can see that he's communicating the eye contact. And also, like, I asked him what he wants to watch on TV this morning, and he pointed and said, Bobby, as he likes Minions.
At what age have you started noticing that his behavior is different?
2.5.
What have you done ever since?
We started straight away with speech and language therapy. They were not focusing on autism, and they were focusing on speech delay. Still didn't the regression started at age 2.5, and it went more and more and more. At September 2023, he started to have seizures, and he started to lose the coordination. He was having headaches, as we're suspecting epilepsy, but we're not sure. So we did some medical investigations. Yeah, but then when we found out that actually his autism is pathological. As many people think that when you look at autism, you only look at the psychological part. Is not actually only psychological. Like almost is a lot of coincidence how many kids with autism, they actually have other underlying medical conditions, and many have epilepsy. So has to be more than psychological.
Have you tried any other clinics? Have you got in touch with any other clinics apart from ours? What was the experience, and why at the end of the day you've chosen us?
So I on the New Year's Eve, an ad pop up on my Facebook while I was scrolling. We were really bit stressed as we had no help, and David is full on. And I was just scrolling on Facebook, and an ad from Swiss Medica pop over, and I started to speak with one of the operators, and Daria, which she's amazing, and so I started to speak with her. Then I started to Google search, and I had no idea. I had no clue about STEM. I had no clue that this actually exists, this type of treatment. And so I started to Google it and read more about stem cells and what can do. And I said to myself, okay, I should actually look into this. So at the beginning of January, I was just like, I decided, okay, we need to try this. This is our last chance to give him a better future, because that's the scope of the whole treatment. I said to my husband, we need to go and do this. So we got in contact with Swiss clinic. I was struggling to find a way to fly over. I was stressed about the flying. Through the Facebook groups, I joined loads of Facebook groups with parents that they have been anywhere, they have been everywhere, and promoting different, especially some Facebook groups promote a lot outside Europe, a lot of clinics, and they think that they're the best. But from what I heard and from other people's experience, not mine, being outside, I don't think that's the case. And one of the moms from Facebook convinced me to change my mind to move from Swiss Medica, which I have to say was very disappointing for me. Because first of all, they booked me and took the deposit without checking the medical file of my child. I know, I'm actually quite pissed off with them over that. And not about the money. We booked the flights, we booked the hotel, everything. And I asked, before we go and do any procedure, you have to be aware that my child had brain surgery not less than 8 months ago. So is he eligible for this procedure? And they were, yeah, that's no problem. We can book you for an appointment for a call with Dr. Kobinia. They booked me 3 times. 3 times they canceled the appointment. Once I even took the day off because I had to go for an appointment with David, and I took the whole day off. I said, okay, I'm gonna have a call with them at 2, you know. And they just canceled the appointment last minute, saying that the doctor got sick or something. And I understand people can get sick, but I wonder, can you get sick that often? And there is no other doctor to have a word with you. So they booked me and they took the deposit before they knew how is David. Now, that kind of procedure with own stems, it might be fine for other kids, but not for mine. Not for mine, where he's at risk of meningitis due to the brain surgery. Not for mine that he's recovering from brain surgery and the brain takes 2 to even 3 years to heal. Yeah. And not for mine that he's at risk of pressure on the brain, because that's the reason he had the brain surgery, due to the pressure. And that kind of how, I'm not sure how it's called, that procedure. Intertecal. Yeah, that kind of procedure can actually increase the pressure, and there are a lot of risks that Davy will be one of the kids at very high risk with that. So when I got in contact with our neurosurgeon, of course, is a doctor in this field, he could not give us an answer. Yes, go for the stem cells. No, don't go for the stem cells. But his silence said everything. So, and then one of the ladies that actually, she's the hero that brought me here, told me that if I had my child with the famous professor, neurosurgeon, that did the procedure for David, if I had him with that and then I'm bringing him to Kobina, I'm making the biggest mistake of my life. So then I canceled the appointment straight away, because I realized that my child wasn't eligible for that procedure, but nothing stopped them from actually taking the deposit. And then when I asked when I changed my mind, I was not I didn't care about the fact that we lost, like with the flights and accommodation and the deposit 5K. Yeah, didn't care about the money. All I cared that here, his safety is a lot more important than us losing a few bobs. So they said that they need to hold back €1,000 from the deposit. They took 3,000 because of that admin fees. And I was really blown away. What admin fees? 3 emails and a phone conversation, not with the doctor, with the reception lady. So I don't think that's professional at all. My opinion, I don't know. Now, when I got in contact with Sweet, then I came back to the first thought that Swiss Medica is actually the best choice. Also, I did a lot of more research on the stem cells. One of my sisters works for a company in Switzerland that actually process stem cells. And I asked her, can you please investigate a little bit what would be a better option for David? Will be like on stem cells, or should we go with donor? And her colleagues, called medical professionals, and they are working with this every day, and they said that 100% you should go for umbilical and placenta. You'll have more chances for regeneration and everything. So, and we got in contact with Swiss Medical. We got an appointment straight away with the doctor, and anytime when we had the question, the doctors were available for, like, even in a matter of hours. One of the doctors were available to have a video call, a conversation, anything. And so initially we were of course, because of David's medical history, we didn't qualify straight away for the treatment. So the whole team of doctors had to meet and see if due to his history of epilepsy and the surgery, would he qualify for the stem cells therapy. And because he was off, he was more than 6 months with no seizures, and he has never been on seizures, anti-seizure medication. Luckily, we could qualify straight, and we got accepted.
It was not easy after your negative experience with this Austrian clinic. It was not easy to believe somebody else, I must admit.
Yeah, but I believe the
still-
parents that have been here.
Uh-huh.
So, and I've been in contact with May, and from I've been in contact with parents that have been in Austria as well. Some of them, another reason why put me off a lot, and I started to investigate, have they actually looked at the child's medical history, was that the fact that many of the kids after that procedure, they have lots of aggressivity and change in sleeping, and they get really, really hyper and aggressive. And it can be one of the side effects. However, from the parents, yeah, but it's not from the parents. They have done the donor cells. They haven't reported, so many of them, they haven't reported this kind of side effects. And on the own stem cells, nearly every single one of them have this side effect. And I can't afford to have that with David because we already go through that. So we need to, like, if can cut that out, why not?
After this treatment, you as a parent, which aspects of your son's life do you want to improve? Like, what are your expectations?
I just want him to be able to function closer to normal. Hopefully, we will be able to get him to have a normal life, just like us, to hold the job. At the moment, the way, if we are looking at how he behaved a week ago, there is no future for him. In a sense, there will be no future outside a mental institution. And
Because any siblings?
yeah, she has a sister. He has a sister. And
How does he?
Daisy is very mature for 4 years old, and she understands very much that her brother is a bit different, and she actually helps him a lot with the speech. When David is doing something, she's actually praising him, and she's coming to us saying, Mommy, David did a pizza. Look, Mommy, David had a pee-pee. So
She's his little teacher.
yeah, she is, and she's advocating for him, and they also play together, and she is helping him to on the social side, because David doesn't really interact with any other kids than Daisy.
He's very lucky to have her.
Yeah, he loves her very much. When she's coming from the creche, he goes to her and he's just kissing her and hug her.
So
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as the treatment part here is concerned, in which ways were the stem cells applied for your son? How he took the treatment? I know that the first day was not easy day. Everyone heard.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't for. I think was easy comparing with what we had before.
Oh, okay.
A lot easier, and the staff were very good, like proactive. Straight away, they saw that David is in distress. Just came, help us to bring him, prioritize him to to the theater, and yeah, but it was easy the way they took the blood, and then the following day when we started the first treatment, we were not expecting him even to go nowhere near the clinic, but he did, and it was really good. Like no, not a bother on him.
Was he sedated?
He was sedated, but he was he wasn't put to sleep, which is good. So he was only like a bit sleepy and giggly. He was giggling a lot. And yeah, I think it was good and he reacted really well. No, not a problem.
Would you have any feedback about our medical staff?
Amazing. I can't really, like, I was only saying, I sound like more like I'm promoting the clinic, because even on Facebook, I'm like, I'm in Swiss Medica. It's amazing. You can't believe, from the very first person, from the medical staff to reception to kitchen to restaurant to cleaners, everybody is amazing here, including our people outside the clinic.
Thank you so much. Is there any piece of advice for parents willing to visit our clinic but having some doubts or fears? Any advice from your side as an experienced person already? Is it like general information? Is Serbia a scary place to come? Is our clinic?
Why? Yeah, exactly. They are
People
scared.
have enough information about this country.
They are scared because they think Serbia is not part of EU. That's not the only reason. They are scared if there is a situation when they need follow up. Would they are not sure if they will be able, they will be covered by the medical. But in the same time, like, stem cells therapy is only an innovation, like it's new on the medical field. Of course, it's not a procedure that can be affordable to everybody. But stem cells in general are not a cheap option. Like, if people will know how much money are being spent on the companies that they are processing stem cells, they will be blown away. Like, I mean, I know that for if they do an exercise or research, they need to spend hundreds of thousands for just to test something. And I know that from my sister, who is doing the purchasing for them, you know. So she knows, she explained to me, and she said that, yeah, the price is the price because it's a very expensive procedure. Even storing them, everything is expensive.
So that's why the price might seem high for somebody, right?
Yes, it seems high for somebody, but it's for some people, but it's kind of like a miracle procedure.
From our side, we are doing our best for our patients to be not to have more standings.
I know, and that's amazing. That's exactly what I was saying too.
Ever since you arrived to the airport,
one of the girls that had been to a different, had been outside EU for a treatment. First of all, the number of stem cells the Swiss Medica is offering is a lot higher than any other clinic worldwide. It's quoted as the best clinic worldwide. This is what parents are saying, and that's because of the type of the procedure they are doing and the number of the stem cells they are injecting. Now, this is a miracle treatment, because kids come non-verbal and they can walk after a few days or months verbal, which they can't achieve that with years and years of therapy, speech and language therapy. Or the parents are afraid to make the move because First of all, they don't know much about stem cells. Second, probably they think if Serbia is outside EU, they would not be covered.
In general, maybe they are scared to come to a foreign country. They don't know how
Yeah,
people are here. Yeah.
and they think it's like going to Turkey to do the PIP.